Carrie Farinack with CNTV. This is Iaee TV, and we are bringing you an important industry update. We want to dive into the political landscape and how it's impacting the exhibitions and events industry. So joining me now, as always, is Iaee President and CEO Marcia Flanagan. Marcia, how are you doing during these turbulent times?
Well, we're doing well, Carrie. It's definitely a dynamic environment out there right now, but we're finding new ways to adapt and stay ahead. It's keeping us sharp.
I bet it's keeping you on your toes. There is no doubt there's a lot going on in Washington right now. We all know that Iaee is here to support, advocate, and unite our community through these times. So tell us a little bit about how Iaee is adapting to the day-to-day changes that are coming out of the Capitol.
Well, the changes are day to day, and that's what's important to remember, that we really cannot manage based upon the headlines that we read. And so it's important to keep the communication lines open. We're having daily and weekly conversations with our lobbyist, Tommy Goodwin, as well as other industry organizational leaders around the world.
That is so important. I think what you said, not managing by headlines, is really a key thing to keep in mind. And we want to take a look at some of the things happening in Washington right now. CNTV's Bob Fryer had a chance to catch up with Tommy and takes a quick look at the political issues that are mostly impacting our industry.
Thanks, Carrie. The exhibitions and events industry is facing a new political climate with major policy shifts that could have long-term effects. Among the biggest concerns, taxes. Potential increases in corporate taxes could impact event budgets and exhibitor participation. Tariffs. Trade policies continue to shift, affecting international exhibitors and supply chains. Visa and international visitor status. Travel restrictions and visa delays make it harder for global attendees to participate. Rising costs and inflation. Everything from venue space to labor is getting more expensive, forcing organizers to rethink budgets.
With so much happening in Washington, D.C. these days, there are so many opportunities and challenges for the industry, which is why advocacy is so important. ECA is thrilled to be working with Iaee and supporting Iaee and its members across the country and around the world in making sure that all of you have the most up-to-date information and you have opportunities to advocate on behalf of the industry and raise their voice.
Even in the face of uncertainty, Iaee remains a steadfast advocate for the exhibitions and events industry. We bring industry leaders together to discuss these pressing issues, share insights, and work towards solutions. Whether it's through policy engagement, networking opportunities, or professional development, Iaee ensures that no member of our community has to navigate these challenges alone. No matter what happens, you have the full strength of Iaee behind you.
It's never been more important to have your finger on the pulse of what's happening, either in Washington, D.C., nationwide, or really around the world than it is right now. And that's why Iaee works with ECA and puts information up through MemberLink, through emails that you'll get from Marcia Flanagan and other communications to make sure all Iaee members know what's happening that's affecting their shows and their events happening this year and beyond.
With so much change in the nation's capital, one thing remains consistent. Iaee is fighting for you and our industry. I'm Bob Fryer with CNTV. Gary, back to you.
So, Marcia, with so many issues, we know there are challenges, but also there are opportunities for our industry, right? Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, I'm a firm believer that when we're in a time of chaos, which it does feel pretty chaotic right now, that it's a perfect time for innovation. And so I think show organizers have that opportunity to think outside the box, dust off their playbooks regarding digital tools, and really think about how they can enhance their overall engagement and overall programming.
Well, I know no one wants to say that it reminds us of COVID times. I know we don't want to say that out loud, but I do think it's an important thing to remember that we learned so many lessons during the pandemic that we can apply now, which could be using new technology in a digital way to reach more people around the world, don't you think?
Absolutely. With that in mind, we've actually created even 2 new communities that we've launched. One is for the healthcare organizer community, and one is for those small to mid-sized show organizers. We are working on launching virtual conversations each month, and we will all come together with a new forum for these groups in June.
Well, and I know that in some of those specific sectors, whether it's healthcare, small organizers, or any independent sector, sometimes it can be difficult for the organizers to actually take a stand in Washington, but you can fill that role for them, right? Tell us about that.
Absolutely. I am happy to be that neutral voice for our industry. And if anyone needs me to communicate directly with any of their lawmakers here in the U.S., I'm happy to be that voice for our members.
I think that's really important for everyone in the industry to remember, and we appreciate the role that IAEE plays there. So before we wrap up, Marcia, what's a key takeaway that you really want folks in the industry to remember?
I think during these times of, we've mentioned chaos, right? I think the message is very simple that IAEE is definitely here for you. We are committed to providing advocacy efforts, resources, and connections that will continue to move our industry forward and provide that thriving environment for business, no matter what the challenges are.
That's amazing, and there sometimes are plenty of challenges, right? So we appreciate everything you're doing, and we want to remind folks that they can head to the IAEE advocacy website at iaee.com/ourvoice. And you can find all information there about these topics and links to things that IAEE is actively doing and ways that you can get involved. So, Marcia, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And for Marcia Flanagan, I'm Carrie Farinack, and this has been IAEE TV.